Nearing retirement, plans for how to spend the next chapter of their lives become the new focus. KIMT News 3's Sananda McCall spoke to a Leroy man who's now living his dream.
Located on West County Road South, a Leroy native is bringing wood to life. 74-year-old Russ Rudlong says he's always stayed busy with building projects, which explains his pre-retirement days in the flooring business. He says he was only thinking ahead when it came to what next. Russ found himself studying the ins and outs of his neighbor's chair-making business and decided to buy the equipment and start his own lawn furniture company called Rudy's Place.
At that time, I didn't have a name. I just went by Russ Rudlong. And she said, oh, you got to have a name, you know, like everybody does. Well, Rudy's with me all the time, and everybody knows Rudy, so that's where Rudy's Place come from. He was my boss and my dog and everything else.
Rudy was a Jack Russell poodle and is the familiar face you see on the Rudy's Place logo. Before the business became Rudy's namesake, he often guarded their trailer full of merchandise. However, Russ found himself guarding his health in a battle with stage 4 advanced prostate cancer, which began around the same time as Rudy's Place. Nearly 2 months ago, Russ went from an 8-year fight to remission.
Well, I remember before when I said I was real sick when I got into this, it kind of takes me back to that and going through and getting better, you know. And I really think this helped me in my recovery. I mean, I really do. So it became kind of like second nature, I guess. Then I could relax, you see. And that was where its part came in, was to relax me. And I could come out here and I think I'd be out here for an hour or two and here'd be 5 hours later, you know. I feel the wood has a life to it. It's kind of silly, but it does take all that bad stuff away from you. It just seems like it does.
Russ says he feels like the chairs hugged and held him. As the years of Rudy's Place have gone by, the man behind the vision went from attending 30 shows in the summer from Minnesota to Wisconsin to now anywhere between 12 and 15 locally. He says typically to create one chair could take 2 days, but says even Goldilocks could find the right fit of redwood seats. He says he hopes to eventually open a storefront.
I don't think anybody else is making them anymore. Everything's turned to that plastic stuff, which I don't know much about, but that's dollar for dollar. I think this is way ahead of it.
Last summer, after 14 years, the famous Rudy passed away. Russ tells me how Rudy may have felt about his growing business. He also shares how long he plans to continue his passion project.
I think he'd be proud of it. You know, as long as I can crawl out here and do it, I'm going to be doing it.
He also advises people to continue pursuing what they love. Live in Leroy, I'm Sananda McCall, KIMT News 3.
That plastic stuff. Russ, you are a talented woodworker. Now, he also says he uses redwood specifically because it's more durable in different weather conditions, like what we see here in Minnesota and North